YouTube, and welcome to episode 69 of Summer Shredding. Now, before we get into the topic of today's video, I want you to go down to the comments, put your favourite 69 joke, or just any sort of 69, just to keep this video lighthearted as fuck. This is what this video is more going to be about. To begin with, I'm going to hit a leg session, really good leg session. I'm going to try and do the German trainer method, which I tried the other week, which is 10 of 10 on squats. So that's going to kick my ass, literally. Then I'm also, after work, I'm going to bring forward the creatine video, because I figured out that Saturday is going to be really busy for me. So the creatine video is not going up on Saturday, it's going up today, tomorrow, however you want to look at it. I'm recording this Thursday night. So yeah, that's basically what today's video is going to be about. Hopefully you learn something from this video, because creatine is often one of those supplements that people go, ooh, do you take it? Ah, you need to take it. Or there's so many mixed opinions. I'm going to, hopefully, if you believe me, I'll cut out all the bullshit and you guys can learn exactly the reasoning why I'm starting to take it again and what I've learned over the last week or two. So hopefully this is informative, and I'm going to cut to the montage right about now.
Close till I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed that workout montage, and good morning as well, because I recorded the last bit last night. So I want to talk about the workout quickly. The 10 sets of 10 squats that I did, my form changed up not halfway through, about on set 7, maybe set 8. What I started doing is, if you look at like my leg position, so my leg position is stayed exactly the same. When it curves down, and so you've got the top of the quad there, and you've got the butt there. So when I get really low, my butt sort of curves down, and you'll notice I sort of do that. Gets me really low. But what that's doing is that's putting strain here on the lower back. So it also puts strain on the glute as well. But for another word. So what I did is I kept that tight. So I kept my butt tight, which meant my back didn't engage as much, which meant my quads got more of a pump towards the end of it. So that meant I needed, I think it's 8 reps on the last couple of sets, just purely because of failure. Also meant I didn't get as low. I still think I broke parallel, I can't really remember, but I'm pretty sure, if not, I was like a millimetre away. Anyway, I've decided that I'm going to start the Blueprint workout routine early. Now that's not saying I'm starting bulking early, I'm just going to start the workout routine. Now the reasoning behind that is two things. My workouts have been they've either been really freaking good or really freaking bad. because I sort of make it up as I go along. Some days, especially when they're like individual body parts per day, I feel like I should be doing loads for it. So for example, today I was literally just looking around and being like, so what should I do next? Whereas if I start the workout routine, it will keep a consistent amount of what I know what I'm doing before I go into the gym. Now, I am still going to be doing pull-ups every day that is not in the workout routine, and I'm still going to be doing calves every day that's not in the workout routine as well, simply because I still want those to grow, and in the bulking season that's going to be when they do the most. Also, the workout routine says you don't need cardio. I'm going to be doing cardio in it, and the reasoning for that is because I like to keep my cardio levels, I like to still be able to do it. That being said, it's still only going to be 15 minutes, if that. So it'll be at the end of a workout. I've just got to remember to factor it in. So from Sunday, I will be starting that. Another thing that's going to help me by doing this is that I won't be going into the bulking season blind. I've got about 3 weeks to know what weights I do, this, that and the other, and just sort of get a feel for the workout and know what it's about. Because the first week will be a complete shock. Okay, it'll be a shock to the muscle groups and everything, which is a good thing, but it'll also be a shock to the mindset. And I'll be like, look at phone, where do I go? You'll see that. Anyway, they have a really good ab routine. He chucks in, this is Arnold Schwarzenegger's blueprint. He also chucks in a lot of things that I usually miss out because I'm lazy. And that's a little bit that I admit. So it's usually things like forearms and stuff like that. Forearms and other bits and pieces that I would usually go, yeah, I'll do that later at the end of the workout once I've done the fun stuff. So because it's quite a short workout, I think there's only like 4 exercises for chest and stuff like that. It will not only give me a good amount of time to not only rest up, it will give me, I won't have to rush any sets. So if I want to do a bench press, I can really think about the contraction and the movement. Only a few things I might change up on it. I'm going to try and stick to it as much as possible. The only things that I might change up are changing the bench press. So he says in the thing to do barbell, and I might change it up for dumbbell, but I'm not sure yet, because I do prefer the dumbbell bench press, especially on the incline. So I don't know. I'll see how I feel about that. I'll try it out for the first week and see where I go. Legs, they look pretty standard. He deadlifts on leg day, so I don't know how that's going to go, but we'll see. Yeah, it looks like it. I've done it before, but I've never completed it before. So hopefully this will be the first time that I complete it, and I will do it for you guys. Usually I get bored after the first couple of weeks because the first couple of weeks are pretty easy for me. But what that will do is I'm smarter now than I was before. So what that'll do is that'll be like, okay, you do this. Like my body will be like, okay, these workouts are easy, these workouts are easy. And then when finally it does kick into gear, it's going to be like, holy shit, what the hell are you doing? So hopefully that will be that, and I'll be able to get a little bit more, get a few more gains from it. And especially considering my calories are still building up, considering the workouts building up each week, I think that's going to benefit my progress too. So hopefully there won't be any problems. It will all be good, it will be gravy, and there's a few heavy weeks, so we'll see what happens with that. Now, the reason why I'm not recording this straight after the gym, I started recording it, and some weirdo came up to me saying I just witnessed him someone run over his dog. Fortunately I was recording, or else it could have probably been in a hostile situation. Simply because I was like, dude, I've got the background where I've walked from in my video. If you want to see it, you're more than welcome. Showed him it. He was clearly off his face on something, and I didn't deal with it very well because I got quite hostile too, and I don't know whether that would have, I don't know, I was just annoyed because I didn't get a good workout in and I missed out cardio. But yeah, so that's the reason why I'm sitting in my room doing it now. There was something else I was going to talk about. Oh yeah, the calorie side of things, I'm still to and fro depending on what I'm going to do. I got a feeling that this weekend's going to be pretty high calorie because I've got a lot of stuff to do. So depending on how that goes depends on whether I stick to my word about, oh, I'm only going to update them weekly, because if I got to like above 170, I'm going to be pretty pissed at myself, and then I'll be like, okay, I'm cutting right down again. I'm doing the daily thing that I've been doing before, and go from there. I prepped all my meals last night, so I've got fish and sweet potatoes, pretty much 4 times. I've got it 4 times today, so that should be fun. Yeah. So I'm either going to piss a load of people off, or it's not going to smell. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I say that a lot. But yeah, so this evening I'm going to be doing, first of all, a lot of editing. Second of all, I'm going to be talking about creatine. So I'm going to brush up a little bit today on creatine. I've done a lot of brushing up recently because I knew this video was coming. I know I'm talking about it early, but as I say, I'm going to be very busy tomorrow. So depends whether you see footage or not. But it's going to be a good video, I think, because it's something that I personally think I should have been taking a lot longer than I have, and I don't know why I haven't. I think it's literally because I forgot about it. So anyway, I'm going to jump in the shower, get ready for work, and I'll speak to you guys. So just want to touch on something just quickly before I go. 2 things is, I am finishing my shred a little bit earlier. Now when I say a little bit earlier, instead of starting it on the 1st of August, I am starting it on the 31st of July. The reason why I'm doing this is because the 31st is a Sunday. Sunday is my workout day. Saturday is a rest day. Saturday will be fasted because Sunday is a damn whole cheat day. Now we've got a video planned. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but me, Matt, you've seen him the other day, and Liam, I think it's Liam EZ is his YouTube channel. He's a bit of a gamer, so if you guys are interested in that, go check him out. Matt, I'm not sure of his YouTube channel, but I've linked his Instagram in a previous video if you want to go check him out. We've got a video planned. I don't know if anyone else is going to be joining us, but it's going to be good. So look forward to that. That's going to be a hell of a day. It's going to be really enjoyable for me. You can probably guess what it is already, considering it's a cheat day, but I'll leave that for a little bit of a surprise. And yeah, so that should be fun. So I know I've done a video on being cheat days and cheat meals before, but because I'm fasting the day before, I feel like I'm going to have a cheat day. But the cheat day is not going to be like, 6 big meals. It's going to be like probably 2 big meals and a few bits here and there. And what I'm going to do is, so that my progress doesn't suffer from it, is probably going to end up being a bit of a shred for the week after. And what I mean by that is, I'm going to weigh myself after being fasted for a day, the morning, on the Sunday morning, before doing anything. I'm going to have my breakfast as usual, like porridge and stuff, workout, and after workout it becomes cheat day. So it's still going to be like, the calories are all going to come post-workout. The breakfast will probably be like, I don't know, porridge or something, just something plain and boring or whatever. Then I'll have 2 cheat meals, and that'll probably do me, to be fair, if I manage it. I might even only have 1 because of what we're doing, but we'll see. So you can already guess it's something to do with food. Leave a comment down below, not only about the 69 thing, which I just remembered just then, but also what you think it might be, and whether you can see if we get anyone joining us. If anyone is in the area, lives in Sussex, around Crawley or Horsham or whatever, leave a comment, and preferably Horsham, and we'll meet up with you guys, and you're more than welcome to join in with the video. They don't know that yet, but we'll give it. I'm going to have a word with a couple of YouTubers that I know as well, and see if they're interested. But anyway, I'm going to get to work. I know I said that about 20 minutes ago. I'll speak to you guys about creatine when I get home. Guys, I am home from work. No, I didn't wear this to work. I just like wearing tanks around the house. Really nice, actually, from Primark. Kel's got it for me. Brilliant buy. Thank you very much. Right, now on to today's topic of creatine. Now creatine, you're probably thinking, if you're new, or even if you're not actually, to be honest, what the hell is creatine? Now creatine is a substance produced by your body, and what it does is it essentially prevents muscle fatigue. Get a little bit more sciencey just now. So prepare to have your mind blown. Right, so in your muscles you have a thing called ATP. Don't ask me what it stands for. I know what the words look like, I just have no way of saying them. So ATP, when your muscle is used, or contracted as probably a better word, it then is, ATP is used up and turned into ADP. Now what the T stands for is triple and D stands for double. So essentially it's a triple bond, like a triangle almost. If you know, like science, you remember what a triple bond is. If you don't, it's something with 3 bonds. It makes sense, right? So it goes from being a triple bond to a double bond. That is when your muscles then start to burn, start to ache, and it's when you essentially fail. So what creatine does is it repairs ADP into ATP. Now because the way our body is structured from heritage really, our heritage of being cavemen chasing after animals or long distance running and things like that, where we've done that throughout our whole life, or I say life, our whole existence, sorry. Creatine, we do not produce enough to do the high intensity training that we do as a lifter, a weight guy, a gym bunny. It is high intensity training. So by supplementing creatine, our body is also then able to use that creatine to change it into from ADP back into ATP. Now I know that sounds really complicated, but basically it's replenishing a muscle fuel. So that's essentially what it does. Now, is creatine necessary? No, it's not necessary at all. However, it is the most researched supplement there is. And when I say researched, I mean like there's been the most studies carried out. It is possibly even the safest. I believe that's correct. And when I say supplement, I don't include protein supplements with that because I class protein as a food. So if protein is probably more researched than creatine, but it's more of a food, so you don't really need to do that much research. But creatine has had lots of good results with it. It's definitely something that you're definitely safe for taking. Now, you're probably looking up on Google right now, creatine, where can I buy it, how much is it? And you're seeing a shit ton of creatine, everything, creatine nitrate, creatine monohydrate, creatine, blah, 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 all these different blends, and there's so many out there and what to choose. Creatine is all the same shit. In a nutshell, creatine is creatine regardless of what form you get it in. Some people will sell you the bullshit saying, okay, having nitrate will make it absorb faster. Maybe. Not by much though. Not worth the extra 30 quid that you're going to pay. Creatine is creatine. It's creatine. The only difference that you could possibly get is getting the microlized ones. Now, the reason I say this is through personal experience. Creatine is a very dense grain, so microlized is finer. When you're mixing it up in your drink or your shaker cup or whatever, having normal creatine, you're more than likely, unless you chug it straight off the bat, gonna get a bit of sand or a bit of grains at the bottom of creatine, and you're gonna get a load of creatine in your mouth, and that's not pretty. That's horrible, actually. So if you do spend the extra 5-10 quid on getting microlized, it is a lot better. Now you can get blends where they're mixed in with BCAAs and things like that, especially the 5% stuff. 5% stuff is pretty good because it's all mixed in together, but it's a lot more expensive. It's about 30 quid a tub, whereas you could buy monohydrate for about a tenner, if that. So, can you get creatine from food sources? Yes, you can. Straight off the bat, yes, you can. It's like branched chain amino acids. You all find them in red meat. However, not very abundant. for the amount that the studies show, for it to have a decent effect on your body, would be 5 to 20 grams. Now 20 grams is a lot, but what studies show is that that is for the freaks. So the mutants out there, the ones that are like 30 foot tall with shoulders that are 30 foot wide. So as a guy, you're probably better off just sticking to 5 milligrams. Is it grams or milligrams? I think it's grams. So, how much? Let's go with steak, because steak's a good one to go with. It's pretty abundant in most micronutrients like creatine, stuff like that. How much steak would you have to achieve your creatine goal for the day? 1 kilo of steak produces 1 gram of creatine. Let that sink in for a bit. That's 5 kilos of steak. That's not 5 pounds, that's 5 kilos. That is not only a lot of money, that is a lot of food to eat. And on a shred, you've got no chance. That's done. Unless you're really fat and you're really rich, you're probably not going to get anywhere with that. There's obviously other sources, but that's the most abundant, and if it's the most abundant in that quantity, you're probably better off supplementing it. That's my opinion. Now if you're a woman, however, I know I said 5 grams is ideal for the man, probably about 3 for the woman, because having a little bit too much can give you, especially the non-microlized stuff, the regular monohydrate, can give you a few weird tummy feelings, like it's a bit gurgly. It can do that if you have a little bit too much, and that's when you probably need to lower your dose or something. It's nothing to worry about. It's not going to give you the shits or something, but it's just a little bit of discomfort. It's nothing to be worried about. It's completely normal. It's something your body's getting used to, a grain that's coming into your body, and it's harmless. It's completely harmless. But it's just something to be careful of, like to be wary of. You're probably going to feel that. Everyone that tries it out for the starters does feel it. I did, and I took way too much. Which leads me on to the next thing, a loading phase. Now, let me explain what a loading phase is first. A loading phase is where you pile it on. So, say if you get a 5 gram scoop in your cup, it will say on the directions of the packet, take 4 scoops for the first week, or first 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks, depending on how much of a rip-off company it is, to get it into your system. Now, yes, it is long-term. You do need it to get into your system before it will start showing results. However, is it necessary? No, not by any means whatsoever. You will still see the same results. It's a long-term idea. So, you're not going to see or feel any different the first day you take it. You're probably going to feel different maybe a month later. Now, by using a whole tub of creatine in the first week, it's not going to make any difference to whether you feel it a week later or a month later. It's still going to be the same amount in your system. Your body can only absorb so much at your size. So by having it a constant everyday thing, remember it's every day you've got to take it, in a month's time, you'll see a difference. Be patient. It's not going to happen right away. Now, what was I going to say? Be patient, not going to happen right away. I'm going with it. That awkward silence. Right, remember what I was going to say. Sorry about that, I'll cut that bit out. So, what results will you see? It's not a steroid. Let's put it out there straight away. It's not a steroid. It's not going to make you look freaking huge. What it is going to do is it's going to draw water into the muscle bellies. It's not going to bloat you out. It's going to draw water into the muscle bellies itself. So it's going to make you look fuller. Now, there's a common misconception that everyone that isn't very well, I don't want to use the word educated because I'm not educated in that sense, but doesn't really know their way around the block, let's put it like that. Everyone says, oh, it will help you retain water, it will make you retain water, you will look fat. First of all, bullshit. Straight off the bat, it will fill up your muscle bellies with water, which, if anything, is going to make you look more jacked. It's not going to make you look fat. It's going to make your arms look bigger. It's also going to assist with water synthesis with the protein. Now, that's another thing that basically the way that your muscles will grow needs carbohydrates, protein, and water. Hence why they're the most pushed things in any form of bodybuilding. So, making sure you have enough water, drinking enough water, which I know I'm not at the moment because I've got a bit of dry mouth. But, so by drinking enough water, you're probably peeing a lot. If it's chucking a lot of water into the muscle bellies, it's directing it where it needs to go. So by having that, you're first of all going to have bigger muscles. Obviously on the longer term, you're not going to have as stronger muscles. It's not going to be that much different. It's just going to give you a little bit of helping hand with growth as well. But that's not the main use. It's mainly going to aid your workouts more than anything. That's where you'll feel the difference. As I say, it's not a steroid. Not a steroid. People wouldn't be allowed to take it in competitive sports. For example, football, soccer, whatever you want to call it. You can take creatine in that. They'll test you for it, and you'll pass, no problems. Creatine is definitely a valid supplement that I think you should be taking. Now, taking it, timings, when should you take it? If I'm honest, it doesn't really freaking matter. Really doesn't. The best thing that I can suggest is get into a routine. So, for example, me, I take mine with my post-workout shake, which probably means I am going to forget it on rest days. So, I set an alarm every day, make sure I take my creatine. You miss it out, you basically got to start again. It's going to be out of your system. So it's essentially you've wasted X amount of weeks because you haven't done. Basically, that's the long and short of it. Timing of it, as I say, doesn't matter. Do it sometime when you can remember to take it. Either, I don't know, if you've got some medication, for example, me, I have my epilepsy pills. I'm probably going to time it around the same time I take my epilepsy pills, which just reminds me I haven't taken my pill tonight. But I'm also taking BCAAs, so I take all the stuff in the mornings. I'll probably just leave it there. Now you can buy it in many different forms. You can buy it in the powder, microlized powder. You've got so many different freaking powders. So many different ones. You can buy it in a pill form, which are freaking huge. They're like 5 horse pills that are like that big. You're thinking, I only need 5 grams. What else is in this? So, personally, I don't suggest that because it doesn't really say what else the frick is in it. They're selling you these big ass pills saying, this is 5 grams of creatine, when you know it's not pure. It's not really like, ugh. Then you've got the chewy gum things, which I think are even more of a little bit of bullshit. They definitely bulked them out with something. You can get different flavoured powders if that's something you're interested in. I personally don't go with that because a lot of the time I mix it with a protein shake. So mixing cherry flavoured protein shake with something else, I don't know, just some weird ass combination you'll find yourself having. Like the other day I had, what's my creatine at the moment? My creatine's the 5% one, and it's like fruit punch, and then I had it with chocolate and banana, and it was freaking weird. So probably just best get unflavoured. It's safe. My protein do it, they're pretty good. If you're really worried about it, check for CreoPure, which is CreoPure is almost like a certification that is decent creatine. As I said, it's pretty much all the same shit, but CreoPure just sort of sit there and go, yeah, it is decent stuff. It's all pretty much the same stuff, but this stuff is a little bit above. It's still cheap. It's just a seal that if you are worried about supplements, which you have every right to be, don't get me wrong, I'm not calling you out saying you're worried about supplements, blah blah blah. You have every right to be. I definitely was when I first started. I did my full freaking research on everything, all the way down to a protein shake, then realised I was being ridiculous. Pre-workouts I was so afraid of. Creatine I was afraid of. Just do your research. There's nothing really to be afraid of, but watch videos like this, or from people with qualifications, not just me. Make sure they're not endorsed by people, because the moment they get endorsed is the moment that majority of people will promote things. Now, a guy that I would suggest watching about supplements and things is watch Lex Griffin's Simple Truth. I learned a lot of this from there. A lot of this, because he writes into the contracts that his companies that he kind of has to promote, or he's sponsored by, or pay him to do so. If he thinks the product's shit, he's allowed to say so, which I think is really, really good. That he'll take it on and give us a discount code and then slag him off if he wants to. I think that's a really good way that he works, and if he ever gets around to watching one of these, if he ever does, I don't think he ever will, I want to say thank you for that, because it's given me a bit of faith in what he's saying. And he does make sense, he does talk a good amount of sense. Go check him out, definitely a good person to watch. Very informative, bit weird looking, in my opinion. Very, very bushy beard. Cool ass beard, but very bushy beard. Bit different. Anyway, that's off topic. As I say, creatine is something you probably should be implementing in your diet, in your supplement cupboard. You need a supplement cupboard. As I say, they're my top tips with it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think there's anything that I'm missing off. We covered timings, servings. As I say again, 5 grams will be enough for a guy, 3 grams will be enough for a girl. Obviously, depending on the girl's size, if she's freaking jacked, she might need 5 grams or 4 grams or whatever. Don't get too hung up on it. Most of the time it's just a scoop, no problems with that. Your body will get rid of what it doesn't need, it's just a little bit of a waste. Your body's smarter than you think, remember that. Doesn't bloat you, not a steroid, weird flavours and shit. Yeah, I think we've covered everything, to be honest. If I do remember anything about it, I will stick it in a later video. If you've got any questions about it, stick it down below and I'll try and answer it as best as I can. But I'm going to go, and I'll speak to you guys tomorrow morning for a rest day. I am doing something pretty cool tomorrow night, so stay tuned and look out for that.